Yo, what's going on, guys? My name is Kevin, and in today's video, I want to talk about what progress actually looks like in fitness. Now, honestly, there's a lot of different ways to measure your progress in fitness, and your best bet is probably to incorporate a little bit of each if you can. But yeah, and there's also progress when it comes to the gym, and there's progress when it comes to your body and nutrition. So those are a little bit different. But combining those two and making sure you're on point with both will lead you to the most success. Now let's start off with the first way to measure your progress, which is by far the easiest and the simplest and probably the most popular, and that is to track your weight. Now, if you're bulking, obviously you would want your weight to go up, and if you're cutting, you would want to be losing weight, and if you're maintaining, you would just want your weight to sort of stay somewhere in between. But the thing is, the scale is pretty unpredictable and not the most reliable, which is why if you're just measuring your progress based on your weight, it's going to be a little bit iffy and it could probably throw you off as well. So you want to combine this with some other methods just to clarify and make sure that you're actually making progress, or if you're actually not making progress. Now, the way I personally measure my progress when it comes to weight is I literally just step on the scale every morning before using the restroom and I write it down. And on top of that, I get the weekly average, and once you get 4 weekly averages for a month, then you compare those weekly averages, or you can compare like the first week average to the last week average, and you can see how much weight you're gaining and how much you're supposed to gain or lose from week to week or for the duration of the entire month, and then you can act accordingly and see what you need to do. Next up, we have taking body measurements. Now this one is very important as well to couple with your weight gain or your weight loss. It's honestly super simple and you literally just measure your body. Now what I use is this thing called a myotape. I think that's how you pronounce it, myotape. And literally you just take it and put it in place, and with the button you can tighten it, and then you could just put it around your body and get your body measurements. Now, as far as what I actually measure on my body, I measure my abs, the top portion, the middle portion, and the bottom portion. I measure my biceps, right and left arm. I measure my hips. I measure both my quads, and I measure my chest. As far as the frequency that you should do your body measurements, I recommend doing body measurements weekly, and then you can compare your body measurements week from week and just see if you're making progress or not. Next up, we have progress photos. Now, honestly, in my experience, progress photos haven't really been too helpful unless a very long time has passed and I can actually tell. So I would say using the scale and your body measurements are probably more reliable, and taking photos of your body is probably just supplemental, but it's still good to do it anyway. Now, me personally, I take body photos monthly because seeing changes in your body just simply visually without any statistics is very difficult and will probably take a very long time for you to actually notice them. So just take your body photos monthly and then compare month to month and see if you can spot any differences. Next up, we actually have how your clothes feel. Now this one is kind of underrated and isn't talked about too much, but again, if you're cutting, you would want your clothes to feel more loose, and if you're bulking, you would want your clothes to feel more tight. Now based on this, you can kind of tell if you're going in the right direction. Now obviously you can't tell where your weight loss or where your fat loss is actually taking place from. It can be anywhere in your body, and if you're gaining weight, it might go here, it might go there, or if you're gaining fat, it might go here, it might go there. So it's kind of hard to tell. And again, this is kind of like body photos. It's not really supposed to be a mainline way to track your progress, but just something extra and supplementary if the previously mentioned methods aren't doing you so well. Lastly, we have progressively overloading in the gym. Now, you guys might be asking, but Kevin, I'm trying to lose weight, I'm cutting. What about then? Well, to that I say you should still be progressively overloading. Now, it might not be as powerful as when you're progressively overloading when you're maintaining or bulking, But still, you definitely want to progressively overload in the gym because the weight you lift is still super important. So whether you're cutting, bulking, or maintaining, you want to try and progressively overload your weight in the gym so you can continue to make progress. And yeah, guys, I think that's going to do it for this video. These are my personal main ways that I track my progress and what I've learned from watching other creators when I first started out. Just remember that progress in your fitness journey is never going to be linear. So obviously these methods aren't going to be 100% foolproof, and they might not always reflect the truth every single time. But if you have a gut feeling that you're doing the right thing, then just try to stay consistent with it, and I'm sure results will occur. And if they don't, then you definitely know that you're doing something wrong and you need to change. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to drop a like, leave any comment down below if you guys have any questions. Make sure to subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Peace!